Okay, so I have a little teaching tool here. It's a balloon with some water in it. And we're going to do a little bit of exploring of weight using this balloon. So I could pick up this balloon just with my arms, right? However, if it was something that was heavy, like a client's leg that I wanted to be repositioning, and I just did it with my arms, I would be stressing my arms and upper body. So instead, I'm going to come down and come underneath this weight and pick it up with my whole body. So that actually, at this point in time, I can feel the weight of this balloon in my feet. I'm trying to, or I've learned, to distribute the weight throughout my whole body system so that all of me is supporting the weight. And this makes the work easier for me, which is just a key principle of the Traeger approach. We're always asking what could be easier. So again, when I want to pick up this balloon, I use my whole structure to pick it up so that my arms do the least amount of work. So if I wanted to move this, whatever I have in my hands, if it's a leg or arm, I could do it with my arms. There again, I would be using only my arm muscles, and this would be overworking my arms. If I want to do 5 sessions in a day, right? You want to distribute the work throughout your body. So instead, I use my whole body to generate this movement. And actually, my leg bones are rocking on top of my ankle bones. And this movement is generated from my whole body. If you have a chance, take a balloon and put some water in it. It's so much fun to play with. See, you can swirl it around, you can bounce it up and down and get standing waves. Anyway, it's a lot of fun. The other thing about the balloon is if I were to hold it way out here for any length of time, it gets heavy. So another thing that the water balloon can teach me is that I want my work here, right in front of me, to make it easiest for me. Okay, so I've invited my friend and fellow Traeger practitioner, Tracy Eno, to join us and to be the body on the table for the table work demonstration. So, hello, Tracy.
Hi, thank you.
So Tracy has filled out her, client intake form for me before and signed the informed consent and all that. So all we need to do right now is for me to check in with Tracy to see how are you doing today.
I feel pretty good. I've been at the computer too much, and I'm feeling a little bit tight in my back.
Okay, and anything else?
I think a little bit in my shoulder because of, using the mouse.
And how about in here?
Not so much.
Not so much. Okay, good. So Tracy, when you're on the table, everything that I do should feel, as you already know, but they don't know, everything I do should feel comfortable and pleasant. If for any reason, at any moment, something doesn't feel comfortable, I want you to let me know right away so I can change what I'm doing.
Okay.
Okay? And yeah, with this work, if it feels comfortable and safe, your unconscious mind will allow greater and greater movement. So that's what we're looking for. We really want it to feel comfortable and safe in your body. And gosh, I think that's all we need. So let's have you get on the table.
Okay.
Okay, so I've got a client on the table. Actually, the first thing I'm going to do is to pause and to take myself into a meditative state that Milton Traeger called hookup. than the way young people use the word hookup today. But for him, he did transcendental meditation, and he would go into this meditative state where he felt he would just allow the life energy from the universe to come into his body, where he was connected or hooked up to that energy. And so in Traeger, we do like to work in this meditative state. We like to pause. You could think of a beautiful sunset or a newborn baby or what it's like petting your cat. Just take yourself into the present moment with that, where you're in the present moment and you've cleared out all the rest of your day and life that could interfere with your session. So I'm pausing. I'm coming into the present moment. And Tracy, I'd like to invite you to also come into the present moment. So just feeling your body lying on the table, taking a breath, allowing your mind to shift gears from thinking into feeling. So just feeling sensation. And if thoughts come in, just let them pass on by like summer clouds. Know that at the end of the session, you can pick them up later, but for now, for this present moment, just lying on the table, feeling sensation. And I'm going to come in here and use all my body to support the weight of Tracy's body here. I'm leaning back so that I'm using my whole body, my body weight to create this movement. And one thing you might notice, let's see if I just pick up this one leg here. You might notice as I lean back, or actually as I create some movement, you'll notice this more. What's happening here? I'm taking out the elasticity, particularly I can see that happening in her hip joint as I lean back, doing what we call taking out the slack and then creating movement. Now I want to draw your attention actually to Tracy's nose and see what's happening. Her nose is moving. So this movement actually goes throughout her entire body, all the way up to her neck and head. And if I had a client with a lot of neck problems, this is where I would start their neck work, right here. Hello, neck. Very gentle movement into the neck. And again, I'm using my whole body, rocking my whole body to create this movement. Give her a little, what we call a little waggle here. So I'm looking for this movement up in her hip joint. And I put it down and pause. In Traeger, we really don't like to work hard. What could be easier? What's easier is not doing that movement for too long. So here's this movement on this side. And that's enough, actually. If I were to persist in doing that movement, it wouldn't be as pleasant for her. It would be, it could even become annoying. So giving her a little taste of movement, letting her body rest, letting the echo of that movement reverberate through her nervous system. That's what I want to do. Okay, so, well, let's see, what else can we do with this leg? So I'm going to come into her thigh, and again I'm going to bring my body down so that my work is as close to me as possible. And I'm going to take my soft Traeger hands and give her thigh tissue a little roll around the bones. Again, I'm doing this with my whole body. I think you can see my legs moving. So my whole body is involved in this movement. And sorry to turn my back on you for a second, but I'm also going to come over here to this side and also rock her leg. So actually I notice she's going to rock a little better if she moves up the table just a little bit. So Tracy, would you ooze up the table just half an inch for me, my dear? Okay, perfect. Good, thank you. And so we're just rocking this leg. Good, I'm watching the tick-tock of her foot. And I can come, sorry, I really have my back to you now, but I need to be here to give her a little faster tempo. So what am I really doing here? I'm looking for free movement. I'm giving her the feeling of softness in her tissue. So what I want to do when I come in here, particularly let's say she had a really dense quadriceps, right? I'm not going in and finding the points of density in the muscle. That's bringing her awareness to the tight areas. Instead, I want to bring her awareness to the softness. Where is her thigh soft? Where is the tissue soft and bouncy? And then I allow this feeling of softness to spread throughout the tissue. And actually, as my hand is, if she did have a dense quadriceps, as I would do this, I would notice under my hand, usually, that density was softening with the movement. And I can just come back here and give her another little waggle. Just noticing, look, I think she's moving more freely in her hip. And I'm going to pause. Next time I do this, I want you to watch her belly and to look, because one of the things that Traeger does is it creates like standing waves in different parts of the body. So, yeah. See that nice movement in her belly? Ooh, look at that rocking in her head. It's great. So I wanted to share with you a few more stories of Dr. Milton Traeger's life and how they influenced his work. So we talked about the mailbag and the taking in the breath. So when he was a teenager, he was living in Miami and he spent lots of time at the beach. And he and his brother did acrobatics. And he was working very hard at developing his muscles. And because he wanted to be able to jump as high as his brother, his older brother. But he then began to notice the tension that he was holding in his muscles. So his acrobatics began to change from who could jump higher to who could land the softest. He wanted to bring more ease and lightness and freedom into his movements. And he spent a lot of time on the beach, also listening to the rhythm of the waves and moving with the rhythm of the waves, swaying, doing his movements with the rhythm of the waves. So, and noticing that this hypnotic rhythm of the movement of the waves brought him into a great state of peacefulness and allowed his muscles to relax even greater.